There's actually a lot to like about the Nothing Phone 1, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 things that I like after using the phone for 5 days with my SIM card in it. I'll also have my review up in the near future, so if you want to see that, then make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Appreciated. So first up, let's talk build quality. Now, many have made comparisons to the iPhone in terms of its appearance, and this is no bad thing. But if you do compare it to an iPhone 12, you can see that it's like an iPhone 12, but much bigger. It's nicely balanced, and the weight isn't so much that you find it uncomfortable to hold. But of course, if you don't like big phones, then this might be one for you to avoid. The screen coming with a pre-applied screen protector is also a very nice touch. It's also worth noting that there is Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back of the phone. Secondly, let's talk cameras. Now, Nothing made the decision to go with 2 sensors on the back instead of having multiple lenses like a lot of manufacturers do, and I have to applaud them for this. I think we're all pretty tired of seeing phones with multiple lenses, most of which tend to be quite useless, or at least much lower quality than you would want. So it's good to see them just put it in 2 solid camera lenses. So we have a wide and ultra wide here that are both quite capable. The wide is a 50 megapixel Sony IMX766. That's used in a number of phones these days as well. Super consistent and great looking output, if a little saturated at times, especially in bright sunshine. The ultra wide is a 50 megapixel Samsung JN1, which doesn't have the best reputation. But in some of the shots I've taken, I've actually found it to be more consistent in color than the main sensor. There's also a decent 16 megapixel selfie cam, but as I always say, use the rear camera sensors. They're much better, and you'll get much better selfies that way. Video is pretty solid as well. You do get 4K 30 FPS, but you can also do 1080p 60 if you want some smoother footage. Thirdly, the SoC. Now, people seemed a little bit skeptical, and there was a lot of debate on Twitter when Nothing announced that the chipset they would be using was the Snapdragon 778G Plus, which obviously isn't a new chip. It's been around for a little while. People were complaining that it wasn't high performance enough. I think people were expecting a flagship tier SoC, which within the budget that they have, considering the phone starts at £399, wasn't really realistic. The 778G Plus, though, is perfectly performant. It's a very good chipset. I don't imagine most people using this phone will be disappointed with the performance. Sure, it doesn't feel as snappy as, say, a Pixel 6a, and there are occasional slight hang-ups, but again, this is very minor. It's generally very good on the performance side, and you can see this especially when it comes to gaming and you're playing something like Pokemon Go here. It really makes use of the 120Hz, really smooth, nice gameplay. It feels a lot nicer to play on this than, say, a Pixel 6a that's running at 60Hz. By the way, if you're finding any of this helpful, please let me know down in the comments. Maybe share the video. It really helps. And fourthly, that is a word, right? Fourthly? Why does it sound weird? Nothing OS. If you've used a Pixel, an Xperia, a Motorola, you will have an idea of how this operating system will feel. It's pretty close to start with some minor alterations. It's smooth and fast, and with that 120Hz screen, it will feel much better than, say, any Samsung phone that you can get for a similar price. Sure, the operating system for now is pretty basic. There's not a lot of extra features, but it's a perfect base for Nothing to build on. So we'll have to see how things progress into future. But for now, I am very happy. And fifthly, software support. Now, Nothing out of the gate, even since I got the phone on launch day, there's been a couple of updates, and they've fixed a number of things already. They're on the July security patch. My Pixel 6a is on the June patch still. So Nothing's even ahead of Google. Crazy. You get 3 years of OS updates and 4 years of security updates. Now, I think that is very good for a new startup out of the gate. Perfectly happy with that. For most people running a mid-range phone, they'll likely upgrade every 2 to 3 years. Perfect. And it's great to see. I'd really like some other manufacturers, bigger manufacturers, to, you know, get on board and actually supply a similar number of updates. That would be fantastic. So, big props to Nothing there. Great stuff. So there you have it. 5 things that I like about the Nothing Phone 1. And yes, you may have noticed that I didn't speak about the glyph interface. I'm kind of on the fence with that at the minute. I don't really know whether it's really much of a positive or not really a negative, but I'm still weighing it up. We'll talk about that in the review. Be ready for that. Thanks for watching. Stay grounded. I'll see you soon.